One person who has consistently used her story and her voice as a tool for advocacy is Gail Levine. Please join me in welcoming Gail to the stage. Gail Levine is the superintendent and principal of Bonny Doon Elementary School District. She was previously a principal at Branceforty Elementary School and an assistant principal at New Brighton Middle School, where last year's Queer Youth Leadership Awards was held. Gail is also a passionate and articulate triangle speaker.
Yeah, these lights are very bright. I can't see you, but I know you can see me. Good evening. I'm honored to be up here tonight, and I'm also humbled, as I am every year. This is my 12th year coming to the Queer Youth Awards, and each year I think I've heard all the stories, and then I walk away and I say, my gosh, the bravery. I know when I was the age of the 12-year-old or the 13-year-old, and Carmen told the story, her story is my story. Only I stopped after one child. I didn't have three. But when did I know? Well, it's a question that I responded to many times as a triangle speaker, as someone, as an out school administrator, as an out teacher. And the story, it's very similar. I came out in 1970 at the age of 25. And so that's 39 years ago. Those of you who are fast with math, yes, I'm 64. I know, you're surprised, how could she be? But I'm one of those elders. Yeah, I am. I'm one of those elders. And I get my energy from working with young people. And I recognized back then that I was different, but I didn't know what that different meant. And I heard lots of stories, lots of negative comments about, you know, my father had a friend who was very effeminate, and so he was a fag, and a lot of really awful, awful things. So I didn't acknowledge that part of my difference was that I was attracted to women. And it wasn't until I got married, I had a child, and then when she was 3, that was when I realized that this life was, I was a round peg in a square hole. So I left the marriage and I came out of the closet and I never went back in. Never went back in, despite lots of discrimination, lots of negativity, and believe me, back when my daughter was 3 years old and 4 and 10, she didn't have a community. I didn't have any friends who had children. So it was a difficult time. And just the information and the openness today, and it's because of those of us who work so hard to change the history. But our work isn't done. And we have to keep heightening the awareness. We have to keep working in the community to continue to have our voices heard, to not back off, even though sometimes it's really difficult. And Lex said it, and we heard it from so many other people here. And we have to continue to work to protect our youth, to protect our elders. Everyone deserves to have a safe place. And now with same-sex marriages, you know, in the media, there's a lot more hate crimes, a lot more hateful behavior. And so now is the time for us to stand up, to be counted, to be working towards preventing more of that. So now I have to say more things, right? So we all have journeys, yeah. You think I can see this? I can't see it, not because I don't have glasses on, because it's dark. But anyway, let's see if I can fake it. All right, so we all have journeys from the moment we realize that we have an issue that's affected us. And so can we remember the first time that we stood up? Think about it. Take a moment and think, when was the first time that you realized that you were witness to something that wasn't right? Did you walk away, or did you develop an awareness, and as a result of that you spoke up? Or maybe you didn't speak up that time, maybe you spoke up the next time. So now, and I can't see you raising your hand, so this is the honor system, okay? So now I'm going to ask you to join me in a visualization, all right? And I'm going to ask you some questions. And what I want you to do is to raise your hand after I say the questions. So the first question is, raise your hand if you have ever witnessed someone, or you yourself, I can't read this at all, okay, have personally stopped a derogatory slur. Raise your hand. Look around. See how many people at your table or in the audience are also raising their hands. And if you didn't raise your hand this time, maybe when you go out there in the community and you hear a derogatory slur, maybe you will stand up and say, hey, you offend me. Raise your hand if you've ever witnessed someone, or you yourself have personally educated someone about the issues that affect you or your family. Yeah, great. I think there's a lot of hands up. Good. And if you're not one of those people, next year I'll be asking you the same question. Raise your hand if you've ever witnessed someone, or you yourself have ever personally advocated for equal protection under the law. There's a lot of advocates in the audience. Thank you. Thank you. And raise your hand if you've ever witnessed someone, or you yourself have ever personally become involved with a local community-based organization or cause. It's not too late. I see the same hands over here. Good, good. I'm sitting with you next year. All right, yeah. Raise your hand if you are here tonight as a way of showing your commitment to the lives of today's young LGBT leaders. Thank you, thank you. Yes. Together we prove that whether or not you are a seasoned advocate or tonight is your first step along the journey of making a difference, we must continue to support each other to make this journey a safer and more welcoming one. Thank you for being here tonight. May this be the first step of many journeys in your life towards making a difference.